On the 30th of July, 1943, high above Germany, a B-17 bomber, affectionately named Tondelayo, is taking heavy fire. In the rear of the plane sits Tailgunner Michael L. Arooth. Mike, as his crewmates call him, is fully prepared as waves of German BF-109s and FW-190s swoop in, sometimes attacking 4 at a time. Mike unleashes a hail of bullets at the swarm of enemy fighters. The rest of the formation joins in, as this massive raid on German industrial factories consists of 186 flying fortresses and 123 P-47 Thunderbolts. The Germans must think all tailgunners are stupid. They're coming in again and again, firing, turning bottoms up and slipping away. A brief quiet falls, only to be broken by their return. Everybody, I need guns! The assault is absolutely relentless, and Mike is right in the thick of it. They are approaching. Get ready to strike. Fighter, fighter, 7 o'clock. As the bomber group nears Remagen, the onslaught resumes. In his memoir, Fall of Fortresses, navigator Elmer Bendiner recalled, "Near Remagen, I noted the fall of 2 enemy fighters. I fired at those arrows in the sky, but I knew that I was merely making noise to let them know we were alive on the port side. Suddenly, the enemy fighters vanish. The crew braces themselves, knowing exactly what this means. The anti-aircraft fire is about to begin. Flak violently shakes Tondelayo time and time again. The engines roar as the bomber flies straight and true through a menacing sky filled with dark, explosive bursts. Bomb bay doors are open. They are away. Geez, look at that. The bombs are away. Look at that flak. It's so thick you could walk on it. Bombs away. Let's blow this thing and go home." With the payload dropped, Second Lieutenant Bone E. Fawkes, the pilot, banks Tondelayo sharply to starboard. The flak begins to fade, offering a fleeting second of peace before the Luftwaffe returns. A radio call crackles. "Bandits, coming in 3 o'clock." The escorting Thunderbolts immediately throttle up to intercept, climbing until they vanish from Fawkes' sight. Just behind the cockpit, the top turret gunner starts firing, and seconds later, a massive horde of BF-109s descends on the American bombers. Every gun on the B-17 roars to life as enemy planes blur past, filling the sky with deadly tracer rounds. Outside, the P-47s fight fiercely, but are vastly outnumbered. With too many targets to chase, the German pilots tear through the bomber groups, facing almost no resistance. Amidst the terrifying chaos, Fawkes has no choice but to brace himself and maintain formation. 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The group's tight formation is their only real defense. He has to keep the heavy bomber level, even as Allied planes are shredded all around them. Look at them. Those are pure devils. Stay focused. Back in the tail section, Arooth is proving his exceptional marksmanship. Another BF-109 swoops in for a pass, but before the German can even pull the trigger, Arooth's perfectly aimed burst tears the fighter's wing clean off. "Come on, who's next? Mayday, mayday, we are going down." Across the entire flying fortress, every gunner is fighting desperately. Enemy aircraft streak past from below and on both sides, swarming like angry bees. Brass casings and links pile up on the floor to the deafening roar of heavy machine guns as the crew battles to survive. German rounds impact Tondelayo's wings repeatedly, yet the resilient aircraft pushes forward. "Fighter, fighter, 7 o'clock. Roger that." In the rear compartment, a third German fighter charges in at blinding speed, but Arooth remains unfazed. His dual-point 5.0 calibers erupt with a thunderous clatter, brass raining onto the floor, and once again, the incoming fighter is obliterated by the barrage. However, Mike's incredible luck finally gives out. As a fourth BF-109 attacks from his left side with its guns roaring, Arooth has no time to return fire before a 20mm explosive shell bursts right beside him. The blast rips a jagged hole in the plane's fuselage and showers him with jagged metal. His left leg takes the absolute worst of the explosion, left mangled by shrapnel. His oxygen line is severed and his left gun is rendered useless. Mike manages to hit the intercom switch. I'm hit in my right hand and my left leg. The rest of the crew hears only static. Mike, Mike, do you hear me? Mike, Mike, are you okay? Mike. Feeling the heavy impact and knowing his tailgunner is down, Fox realizes a fighter is sitting squarely on their tail with no one to shoot back. Ignoring standard bomber protocols, he shoves the yoke forward, throwing the massive fortress into a sudden dive to evade the pursuer. Behind him, empty shell casings clatter across the deck as panic and terror grip the crew, feeling their aircraft suddenly drop from the sky. What the hell? Navigator Bendinair later described the wild ride. Bone was climbing, diving, and making corkscrew patterns in a crazy choreography designed to unsettle the fighters who were pressing in from all sides. When I tried to stand, my feet slipped from underneath me. I clung to my desk and the gun, waiting for the attack to subside. Huge gaps form in the bomber stream as more aircraft are blown from the sky. Oh my gosh, look at that! They're going down! When Arooth finally keys his mic again, his speech is slurred, sounding like he's speaking from miles away. They bailed. Do you hear me? Mike. Though confused, the crew is relieved he is still breathing. The onslaught rages on, but oddly, the waist guns are completely silent. A frantic call goes over the comms. Bombardier to waist gunners. Bombardier to waist gunners. Come in. Come in. Stockman. Heron. Come in, goddammit. Come in. Do you read me? Duke. Come in. Bombardier to radio. Duke. Come in. The bomber's engines drone on. Mike's voice floats over the intercom again, distant and eerily calm. They're gone. What does he mean they are gone? What the hell is he talking about? Furious and confused, Bone hands the controls to his co-pilot and heads to the back of the aircraft. The radio room is empty. When he reaches the waist gunner's station, he is stunned to see it completely deserted. Eventually, they locate the radio operator, Duke. As Bendinair recalled, he was sitting on the floor, one leg dangling beyond the open hatch. Bob and I pulled him across the floor past the waist ports, where the wind howled as in an Arctic blizzard, where one could see the silvery wings of our enemies curveting and spitting sparks. The floor of the fuselage was torn in spots, the metal peeled back. Multicolored cables were in shreds. We sat Duke up in the radio room and looked to see whether he was bleeding. He was untouched, but his eyes were dreamy and he wore a smile of absurd serenity. There was no oxygen in the rear of the plane. In the isolated tail section, Arooth's shattered leg is bleeding heavily and he cannot move it. Fighting through excruciating pain and the sub-zero winds blasting through the torn fuselage, he frantically reaches for his emergency oxygen bottle. The injuries are too severe. He simply can't stretch far enough. Abandoning the oxygen, he drags himself back to his surviving machine gun as hypoxia and severe blood loss begin to take hold. He fires wildly at the swarm of fighters harassing them, fiercely dedicated to defending the B-17 until the very end. The combat is unyielding, and suddenly Arooth's last working point, 5.0 caliber jams. Another BF-109 lines up for a deadly attack run. Arooth's oxygen-starved brain struggles to focus. Yet, despite his deteriorating condition, he instantly spots the mechanical issue. The German fighter centers Tondelayo in its crosshairs. Arooth flips open the receiver, yanks the jammed canvas ammunition belt free, and resets it. The BF-109 begins to fire. In a split second, Arooth grabs the grips and unleashes a devastating hail of bullets, turning the attacker into a fiery explosion. The battle drags on, but no other fighters dare to approach the bomber's tail. Finally, the battered German squadron breaks off, and the violent skies grow peaceful. The surviving crew members are profoundly traumatized, marveling at the fact that they are still breathing. One crewmate rushes back to check on Arooth and is horrified by his condition. He quickly applies first aid, tying a tourniquet around the gunner's mangled leg, administering morphine, and securing the emergency oxygen mask as Tondelayo limps back toward base. Hours later, the crippled bomber touches down safely. Mike is in severe shock, but he is clinging to life. Medical teams rush him away, and he eventually recovers. The aircraft barely survived the ordeal, seemingly spared only by Arooth's sheer willpower and Fox's unorthodox flying. However, they soon learn a third, unseen savior protected the plane. After landing, the crew notices a direct hit to one of the bomber's fuel tanks and cannot believe their luck. A 20mm explosive shell should have detonated inside the tank, snapping the wing in two and vaporizing the aircraft. They assume it was just a lucky dud, but when ground crews strip the tank later that day to remove the unexploded round, they are stunned to discover exactly 11 intact shells lodged inside. A single dud is incredibly fortunate. 11 is practically a miracle. As the munitions experts inspect the rounds, the incredible truth is revealed. None of the shells contained any explosives. They were completely hollow lead casings, except for one. Inside one of the empty shells was a tightly rolled piece of paper with a message written in Czech. An intelligence officer is brought in to translate the note for the crew. It reads, "This is all we can do for you now." The ammunition had been intentionally sabotaged by an incredibly courageous prisoner of war forced to work in a German munitions factory. That unknown hero would never know it, but their quiet act of defiance directly saved the lives of 10 American airmen. Every single member of Tondelayo's crew survived the war, including the men who parachuted over enemy territory. They were captured and held in POW camps until they were finally freed. Arooth was celebrated as a true hero by his peers, finishing the conflict with 17 confirmed aerial victories and numerous probables. He lived a full life, passing away in 1990. Today, a memorial plaque honors his bravery at the City Hall in Springfield, Massachusetts. We invest every penny we earn right back into making these videos. Growing our viewership is what allows us to keep improving the quality of our content. If you liked this story, we would be incredibly grateful if you hit the subscribe button and turned on notifications. Thank you.